What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. You see your two normal hosts, myself, Alpha Dog Bets, here with JD from Line Movers, but we also have a very special guest today. We do have Sammy Adams here. Sammy, it's a pleasure having you on. How are you? How are you today, brother?
Fantastic, baby. Another day in paradise.
Another day in paradise. Nick is already in the chat giving me shit about the Knicks, but Nick, I'm going to be honest. I came in here yesterday, and what did I tell you guys? Do not bet the Knicks on this back-to-back. I do think the Bulls will at least cover, and that is exactly what happened. Over to the chat as well. We have Bill Norman, who's here every single show. We appreciate you, Bill. And J-Bo here early today. All you guys are checking in from the YouTube. Make sure you guys check out our YouTube and subscribe. Tons of exclusive content coming to you guys there. So let's get right into how everyone's doing. Sammy, I think we're having a little technical difficulty with your camera, but I'm sure that will come back in just a minute. JD, it's a beautiful day. Happy Thursday. How are you today?
Man, it actually is a beautiful day here too. Doing well. Yesterday, I believe the Pacers. I actually believe that we were both on them. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Just like I said, man, I just have to stop betting on them, man. Like they don't show up when they should. They do show up when they shouldn't. Like, I'm just done with them, man. But what was my other best bet on the show? Oh, yeah, it was that college basketball. It was that over. I believe it was over 158. Game finished with like 170-something points or something like that.
Excellent.
So that was a nice, easy winner. Yeah, man, as far as actually college ball, man, keeps actually going strong for us. I do have to be honest here. As far as all the major sports have been a little rough. But actually, as far as college ball, like I said, we are hot there. So
there we go. You love to start a season hot. We all know you're one of the best in the game at college basketball. More about that Pacers game, because that was a brutal game for me. Was my favorite pick of the night. They did not score for the first 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. They had
worst.
It was the worst. They had so many double-digit leads in that game, and they just kept letting the Magic come back in while the Magic had none of their stars playing. So it was a bit frustrating. I do think the Pacers should have closed it out, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. It's a new day, beautiful games to get into, so we are going to have a winning day today, guaranteeing that. Sammy, did you have any bets yesterday? How did you do yesterday?
I think I went 2-1 on Wednesday games, like a full degen. Wasn't bad, and then hit the over on Warriors. You gave me, sir.
There we go. We love to see that. So we'll keep that rolling. Let's continue cashing. And that's a great segue to go into the games we're going to be breaking down today. So, fellas, we are going to be breaking down a little college football today. On Thursdays, we do get everybody ready for the Saturday slate, as well as we're going to break down the Thursday night football game, which is honestly the best Thursday night game we've had in a while. I'm super excited to dive into that one. But let's dive in first to college football. First game we're going to be breaking down today is going to be the Clemson-Pittsburgh game. This one does have a pretty big spread for two teams that have been doing pretty well. Both teams are coming into the game 7-2. Clemson comes into this 20th in the nation. They've been playing fantastic ball, and right now they are in line to be in the ACC championship with SMU. We'll have to see if that holds on because Miami is chasing down their backs. But, guys, this game is more going to be about, will Pittsburgh rebound? They are coming in off 2 consecutive losses. They won their first 7 games, but then dropped the game to SMU. They lost that one pretty badly, 48-25. And then the game after that, they lost to Virginia, who's not a great football team. On the other side, Clemson's coming in winners of 4 of their last 5. The only game they stumbled on in their last 5 was Louisville. JD, we're going to start with you. What do you like in this Clemson-Pitt game?
Yeah, just like you said, actually, Pitt was just rolling. They're actually playing well. It was against some teams, though, that weren't really the best. And actually, we talked about it 3-4 weeks ago that I was waiting for a spot to just fade them.
Yep.
And that finally came. That was I believe it was the SMU spot. I think that was 2 weeks ago now. Yep. And they got absolutely crushed there. And then as far as Clemson, they had a bad loss. I believe that was to Louisville. I think that was 2 weeks ago now too. That was honestly a really bad loss. And then last week it was another week where they just started out very slow. Now I've come on and talked about how Clemson is a very fast starting team. As far as first half points, I believe they're still actually number 1 there. They like to start games off fast. And the past and actually the past 2 weeks here, they just have not actually done that. As far as a playoff spot, Clemson definitely still has a chance there. They actually need this game here. This is a game where I think Dabo is going to have these boys up. They're going to go back to how they used to be doing it, and they're going to get that fast start. And instead of the team total, like I had been playing here, I'm actually just going to play them straight up here. I'm going to play them Clemson first half. I believe you can get them at -5.5. And I really
like that.
Yeah, I like it in the first half, but I do not like it for the full game because I am on Pittsburgh here plus the 10.5. They are home. I think it's too many points in a ACC rivalry game, and I do think that they will be able to score some points here. Eli Holstein has done a great job as the quarterback of this team this year for Pittsburgh. On the season, he does have 17 touchdowns to only 6 interceptions. Cade Klubnik from Clemson is having a great year as well. He has 24 touchdowns on the year to only 4 interceptions, but 10.5 is a lot of points for a team at home that has done well this year. Against the spread, Pittsburgh's coming in 6-3 on the year. They're one of the best cover teams in the nation, while Clemson is coming in 5-4. So Pittsburgh has outperformed a little bit better. And with 10.5 points, I really do think Pittsburgh is the full game play here. So JD, I am hoping Clemson has maybe a 6-point lead at the half, but that's the final score as well. Ends in that single-digit range. Sammy, what do you like in this game?
I like what both of you guys said. I literally was writing my notes this morning and saying, like just to add on to the offense, like TJ Parker, Barrett Carter, they're getting absolutely in on quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge key to the first half. If they don't come out firing on offense, it's going to bite them right in the ass. And I think Clemson D is just going to clamp. I think JD's right about Dabo getting these guys fired up. No one loves playing. No one loves playing a Clemson team that's absolutely trying to take your head off. But I think it's either a wrap at halftime, or maybe full game closer. But I'm all over the under because I just don't see Pitt getting going. Even playing terrible teams, they've had just a tough go in the first half, and I think this one just gets away from them.
I can see that happening. Let's see a low-scoring game that stays within single digits at the final. Let's all cash this play. One more comment, and I do agree with J-Bo here. JD always kills the first half plays, so when JD is giving you a first half banger, make sure you guys tune in because his record on first half plays is unbelievable. Let's keep it moving right along, fellas, to the second game we're going to be breaking down today, which is going to be the LSU-Florida game. LSU's coming into this game 22nd ranked in the nation. They're 6-3 on the year, 3-2 in conference. They're visiting Florida, taking on the Gators, who are 4-5 on the year, but they are 2-4 in conference. Taking a look at how these teams have played recently, we all saw the game last week with LSU-Alabama. LSU was at home, and they did not even compete. Alabama steamed them out of the building 42-13, while on the other side, right after the head coach of Florida got a big extension, Texas beat Florida 49-17. So not a great showing from Florida after believing in their coach. Big story in this game, will Garrett Nussmeier, the quarterback of LSU, get it back on track? He has 21 touchdowns on the year to 11 interceptions. He's looking like he could be one of the quarterbacks taken early in the NFL draft. He does need to have a big game here, and I'll go first. That's exactly what I think is going to happen. I think this is a bounce back spot for LSU. They had a bad loss last week, and I think that's why we're getting the line at 4 right now, and that's exactly what I'm playing. I see LSU winning this game by around 10 points, if not a little bit more than that. They are the much better team. They need a big performance here. They're still having a good season. They're 6-3 on the year, so if they want to get into a decent bowl, they are going to have to win this game, make it to 7-3, and they will have to win in convincing fashion. Give me LSU minus the 4. It's definitely one of my favorite plays for the Saturday slate. Sammy, we'll go to you second. What do you like in this game?
Like you said, Georgia got body bagged by the Tide last game. And just they barely beat Florida with, basically their B team. So that's concerning to me. I think there's a little bit more going on in the locker room. I don't know if you saw the clips of I think it's their backup quarterback or one of their players absolutely jumping for joy with the Rebel fans. That's chaos for Kirby. Could be a small thing, but I feel like anything like suspensions and dumb shit like that kind of throws off the vibe. Also Rocky Top getting 10 points like that's crazy. When they're favored, they've been playing like trash, but when they're the dogs, they've been absolutely steamrolling. So I'm on +10, baby.
Sammy, love you. That's what we're doing for the next game. So we'll get into that one in just a minute. But for LSU, Florida, what do you got in this one?
Sorry.
You're good, bro.
LSU, Florida. I hated how LSU played last game. Absolutely steamrolled. But I think Florida's just not up to this challenge. I think -4 is very, very low. But at the same time, yeah, I'm taking -4, but I kind of want to throw a dart on LSU to score first and money line +130.
I like that. So a couple different angles you can get on that game to become profitable. JD, before we get into that Rocky Top game, what do you got?
Yeah, sorry about that, JD.
All good. So yeah, this actually like LSU team, they're actually coming off back-to-back losses, and this is looking like a get right spot.
Absolutely.
There's what I think like a lot of people think here. I'm not fully convinced that that's what this is though.
Little Kansas City shuffle.
As far as their actual defense, we've been talking about it, and we've talked about how weird it is to talk about, but how their defense has been playing so well. Well, the past 2 games, they haven't played actually that like great. They've kind of came back down to actually earth and kind of what we expected them to actually be. And then on the other side, you have Florida. They're off of back-to-back losses also. They played Texas last week, and they played Georgia the week actually for that. And their defense did not look good, but of course they were playing actually like top teams there. So for this one, to me, this week, both of these offenses are going to be playing defenses that are nowhere near what they have been playing.
Absolutely.
Facts.
And to me, both of their offenses are actually still good. So I think this week, as far as on offense, that actually both teams are actually going to play well here. The over, I absolutely love. The model actually backs that up too. It actually has it at 62 points here.
Wow.
It is also showing this as kind of a close game. I only have Florida, or actually, I have LSU as a 2.4 favorite here.
So that moved.
So
that's what his model's saying.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
predicting.
Model. I didn't know you were a model, man.
Yeah, man. So for me, I haven't made a bet on this game yet. So, but with saying that, the Florida team total over, I'm also showing value there. So it's either going to be Florida team total over or either the full game over. The full game over is most likely going to be my play here. I just haven't locked it in yet.
I like that. I lean that.
Do we have an update on QB1 or is it Aiden Warner?
It is not going to be Warner. I do know that.
Yeah.
Because he was like what 12 for 35 last game, like
something like that.
Yeah, it's not going to be him this week.
Yeah,
which is a good thing.
I also for props too. I feel like with just an absolutely speedy secondary, this screams touches for ball.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
So I think if they can get that run game going, that's obviously going to be super pivotal in this for LSU. Because when they can't run the ball, they're just doing those screens that lose 2 yards or like a slant that really doesn't move the chains. And it's like, there's nothing more annoying, especially, living in Louisiana for like Louisiana LSU fans to not be able to get a first down in the first quarter. It's like, dude, what are we doing?
Yep.
But still, I agree. I think the D on both sides is insane, but I think it's LSU.
Yep, and I think it's going to be LSU with some points, so let's all cash that here. Over to the comments, J-Bo is here saying it feels good to know that I'm on LSU. I agree with you. It is a good bounce back spot for LSU, so let's get it minus the 4. But let's keep it moving, fellas, to that Tennessee-Georgia game. Sammy kind of alluded to it perfectly. There's some trouble with Georgia right now. If you saw the cornerback who was basically celebrating, it's what it looked like. He came out and said, those are some of his old teammates from high school, yada, yada, yada. He was just trying to say hi to his friends. It didn't look great. It didn't look great.
Hogwash.
Yeah, it didn't look great, going to be honest there. So a little bit of trouble brewing in Georgia. Kirby Smart has not done his best job this year, and we all know what happened last week. They did lose at Ole Miss 28-10. They weren't even competitive in that game, so that was an interesting result here. Going over to the Tennessee side, Tennessee's coming in on the year 8-1. They're ranked 7th in the nation, but it does look like their quarterback, Nico, is not going to be able to go this week. I'm not going to try and pronounce his last name, so I'll save you guys all that favor of me butchering it. But I do think that this Tennessee team still will be able to compete. This Georgia offense has not shown me anything over the last couple weeks, and I can't be the only one who thinks Carson Beck is just killing his future right now. He's been terrible. He's not been able to control the ball. He's making bad decisions and turning it over frequently. This was a guy who was projected early in the season to be the Heisman Award winner and was projected to be the first pick in the NFL draft. Right now, I read a report yesterday that the consensus around NFL scouts is at best a 4th-round grade for him. So he's really hurt his future this year. Will he get it right here? I think it's going to be a tough spot against a Tennessee team that plays hard.
That's ironic because isn't he like 39 years old or something?
No, that was the old one. That was Stetson Bennett. He's a little bit younger, but still, he was supposed to be the real deal. He was supposed to be the next great quarterback. They were projecting him to be an NFL pro, and he's just not.
That was like preseason. Everyone was just riding the Jonas, and it's like, bro, like, it's like, yes, you have a great team, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like that's a bad look for quarterbacks coming in. Like, don't watch like ESPN analysts about you. Like, you got to go 100%. Out there, drop your ego and do it. Like, if you see someone like, damn, this dude's balling, like, or, oh, like if I make a song and someone's like, that's a banger and it's not, it's like, oh, bro, now I got to backtrack on all this shit. So
100%.
I mean, it's going to be an interesting one, but I think it's just disrespectful to Vols plus 10. Agreed. Giving them 10 points is crazy, especially literally every play or every other play was a penalty or them losing yards. They couldn't get any traction. I mean, shout out Bama. They played a great game, but to get blown out like that, this just doesn't feel like the usual bounce back spot for me.
I totally agree with you as well. And I think that this team has a lot going on internally where they're going to have to make a lot of adjustments. I mean, it could be, I know it's hard to say because Georgia's been so good for so many years, but Kirby Smart might be losing his touch with this team. Every now and then, really good coaches do need to change programs, go to another spot to just freshen everything up.
I mean, look at Shanahan.
You're right. And you see it all the time over in college. You see guys that have overstayed their welcome. They've been historic coaches at that program, but it may be time for them to leave. And I do think that Georgia is going to have one of those years when you look back at it at the end of the season saying what went wrong, because we had all the talent in the world, but we didn't have anywhere near the season we expected. So they could still make the playoffs. They could still have a good year, but I do not believe in this team. I do not believe in Carson Beck. Give me Tennessee. The line is currently up to plus 10.5 on FanDuel. It just switched a little bit, and that's exactly what I'm going to take. Sammy, sounds like you're on the same wavelength as me.
Yep.
JD, what you got?
All right, here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You know,
here comes the other side.
You know, when the windup comes in, we're getting it.
Yep.
All right. So with that Georgia loss, actually, like last week, this is basically a must-win game. And I am all about, must-win games. Definitely does not mean we'll actually win.
Yep.
But look, the model here is showing value on actually Georgia here, even though the eye test does not. So me, I'd actually first, I was actually like a little bit mixed here, but then I was thinking, and also to go back a second, the model seems like Georgia every single week.
It does. It does.
I'm not sure if that's just because Georgia's made us so much money over the past 3 to 4 years that it just automatically goes to actually them. But look, to me, if Georgia can play their game, Georgia is the much better team here. And last week, the way they played, I'm sorry, but Kirby is going to be on their ass.
Oh yeah.
You talking about somebody who can get a team fired up? That is the coach. That is who you want.
I mean, he was hit sticking players in the what was it, the South Carolina game or something? He absolutely truck sticked that guy. That would have been that would have been an easy 15 if I was a zebra. But never mind.
Right. So for me, this is like the actual Clemson game, man. I think this is a first half play.
Give us another first half, Daddy. Let's go.
Yeah. We like that.
Yes, as far as actually 10 points, as far as the full game, there is a lot here. But I do like Kirby to have these boys fired up, ready to go in the first half. Once again, here's the same number. You can get Georgia first half minus actually 5.5 points. So I'm going to roll with actually that. And then in the second half, Tennessee can do their actually thing, and then actually y'all can win that. So
there we go. I have a fun stat on this as well. Georgia is the third worst cover team in Division I football. Let me repeat that. There's a lot of schools in Division I college football. They're the third worst cover team in college football. Georgia has covered 2 of their 9 games this season. The teams that they are tied with in the covers are teams like Florida State, teams like Purdue, teams like Utah State that have been absolute monstrosities. Yeah, literally teams like that. It's just they're in a class that they don't want to be in. They're the only team in the SEC that's down that low. You see a lot of teams down there. None of them are really in these big power conferences, so they really have missed their expectation this year. Even Michigan has covered more games than them this season.
Wow.
We talked about how bad Michigan has been on this show quite frequently.
That's hard to believe. I mean,
that's bad.
Yeah, so Georgia can't cover a stationary wall with paint.
Literally.
I mean, it's going to be interesting because I feel like there's so many of these situations that have happened in the NFL this year where it's like this team's obviously going to steamroll this team, and then it's a comeback game. It's just going to come down to who wants it more. And to be honest, I do love the first half play because I think they'll come out fired up. They have to come fired up at home after looking like absolute soys at Alabama. Like they just got absolutely rolled in Alabama. So it's like you either come out firing or that could potentially be you guys losing by -10.
Yeah, and one more thing I'll put out here is you guys know on the show I like to look at common opponent. Both these teams have played Alabama. Tennessee did beat Alabama outright by 7. Georgia did lose. I know Tennessee's not going to have their quarterback, but is their quarterback going to make essentially a 22-point swing? I don't think so. So let's get an early Georgia lead, but Tennessee come back late and make this into a game. Let's keep it moving, fellas. We do have one more college football game we're going to be breaking down today, and it's going to be tonight's 7:30 showdown between East Carolina Pirates and the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. ECU's coming in 5-4 in the year. They're 3-2 in conference. On the other side, Tulsa is 3-6 on the year. They're 1-4 in conference. JD, I know you have something in this game. What do you got for me?
Yes, sir. Actually, like ECU, they actually made a change at actually head coach, and actually quarterback. This was actually a couple weeks ago now.
Yep.
Ever since then, this offense has been flying. They've scored 49 and actually 56 points. And tonight they get to play an actual Tulsa defense that, simply put, they're just bad.
That's literally the first thing I was gonna say.
Tulsa defense, they're actually allowing almost 7.8 yards per play. So yeah, if anybody knows anything about stats, that is very bad. And as far as the Tulsa, they just can't defend the actual pass. And actually, like ECU has shown that they are willing to throw the ball actually downfield. And tonight I see a whole lot of that. And for me here, ECU is playing very fast. I mean, very fast. In the nation, tempo-wise, they're actually second.
We love that for overs.
Tulsa is not far behind them here. They're still in the top 20. I forgot exactly what number they are, but they're still right there. To me, this is a clear ECU team total over spot. I think they put up a lot of points to a night. it's at the line, I believe, is at 38.5 still.
Yep.
I see 45 here. And actually, it might even be more than actually that. I do have to say, as far as ECU, I am a fan, and it's technically my home team.
Look at that! Not the hat, and you love look at the colorway too. So on point. We love that.
Fresh.
So yeah, as far as tonight, this is probably my favorite play.
I like it. So I'm gonna do that thing that I do. Which is sometimes the best play is no play, no action for me. I agree with JD. I'm probably going to tail you on that team total because I love having more action and I will join you and root for some fun. But for me in this game, no action for me. But I agree with all the points that you made breaking down this game. Sammy, anything from you before we get into the Thursday night showdown?
I mean, just to piggyback off JD, Tulsa D is a train wreck. There was, in the last 2 of their games, there's been 171 points. Like, that's just insane. Like, I just don't see any like coming back from if who's it, Hauser on ECU?
Yes.
If he has a game early, this is going to be absolute blouses, by halftime. I mean, Tulsa obviously can score, not against great teams. They've been blown out by anyone, I think, in the top 25. But I think this is a great place for ECU to just keep rolling. I'm going to take that minus 14. I think that moved a little bit to minus 14.5. I got it at minus 130, I believe, or minus 110 or even. But yeah, I think this is a great spot, and also probably going to hammer first half because JD's getting me all riled up over here.
Over these first half bets, everyone knows he's the best at them, and we love that. So let's see ECU put up a ton of points and win this game. Everyone on the show will be happy. Fellas, it's about that time to jump into the Thursday night football game. So let's get into it. Here is what we're going to be going into, which is the Commanders versus the Eagles. We have an NFC East showdown. The Washington Commanders are coming in 7-3 on the year. They're 3-2 in division. The Eagles 7-2 on the year, 3-1 at home. But this is a game that has so much magnitude for the NFC East.
Huge.
Are the Commanders the team to beat in the NFC East? We will find out today if they're ready to be the best team in the NFC East and charge towards a playoff spot. We will find out. We have not seen them this good in a while, but it is true that the Commanders have had a little bit of a cakewalk schedule. Their toughest game that they've been in was the Baltimore game. They lost by 7, and then last week they lost by 1 point to Pittsburgh. So they've been involved in some games. We all know what's going on with the Eagles.
Barely won against the Bears too with the miracle.
Barely won against the Bears in the Hail Mary. They beat the Giants because the Giants didn't have a kicker, or else the Giants would have kicked the game-winning kicker who got hurt. So they've had some lucky wins this year, but I do believe that this is a good team. Sammy, what do you like in this breakdown between the Commanders and the Eagles?
A lot of excuses from the Giants fans.
We have nothing.
From the Giants fans.
We have nothing. We suck.
This one's going to be a great game. I mean, having a bunch of Eagles on fantasy first couple weeks was absolutely mortifying. They've totally stepped it up. Jalen's definitely, no pun intended, in the pocket. So I think this has a great potential to be game of the week. I mean, like, to be honest, Daniels has been balling. Like you said, hasn't been playing the best teams. So this will be a great test for him. I think it's closer than we think, but I just love the way Daniels has been playing. So I'm rocking with money line, baby.
Wow. Commanders money line from Sammy. The current odds on that, give me 1 second, are coming in at a plus 170. So definitely some value there. I'll jump in here next because I'm also on the Commanders, but I'm playing the plus 4 just for a little security. I do think the Commanders have a very good chance of winning. This Eagles team has not done great in the passing game as well in the rushing game. They have struggled to tackle a little bit, and that's going to lead me to a second play I have on this game, which is going to be Brian Robinson anytime touchdown score at plus 125. Ooh. Right now, Jaden Daniels does have a damaged rib. So when they're in the red zone, I don't believe they're going to let Jaden get out of the pocket and run and risk taking a big hit. We've seen in the last couple of weeks when they've gotten in the red zone, they've really pounded the rock. Austin Eckler was the starting running back over the last 2 weeks. He has 3 rushing touchdowns over that span. 2 last week, 1 the week before. It just seems every time this Commanders team gets in the red zone, they are pounding the run. They don't want to see Jaden Daniels take additional hits. They want longevity out of him, and they want to keep it moving. So give me the touchdown as well at plus 125 for Brian Robinson, and give me the Commanders plus 4.
Is it bruised rib or broken rib?
They will not let you know. It just says rib injury. I'm assuming it's probably pretty bad because it was 4 or 5 weeks ago now that he got hit. So if he's still dealing with that rib injury, I don't think it would be something that's a bruise.
They'll let you know at 12:59 and 30 seconds.
On Sunday, right? Right before the 1 o'clock kickoff. They love to let you know the extent of the injury. But this one, he will be playing. I just think he will have to stay in the pocket and be a pocket passer. And that's what he's done the last couple games, and he has done well at doing that. JD, what do you like in this game?
This should be a really good game. As far as betting-wise, I think it's honestly a very tough game. I will say, when I broke this game down and wrote a few notes, the line has now moved. The Eagles were 3.5. I'm seeing 4 and 4.5 now. So that may change my mind a little bit here on actually a few things. Everybody knows by now the Eagles. I am not big on this specific Eagles team. This actually Eagles coaching staff. I'm not big on any of them here. So for me, there's just no way that I can back them here. And I even believe, I don't have it pulled up in front of me now, but I believe in home games, I believe they haven't even covered a single one yet.
Yep.
Not covered a spread yet.
Okay. So, but then on the other side, what makes this tough for me is that you have a rookie actually QB Thursday night road game. Those situations tend to not turn out well. Especially going to the link here. It's going to be a rowdy crowd. It's going to be tough. But saying that also, Jaden Daniels has not been your normal,
Agreed.
As far as a rookie season is gone, from what we expected him to look like, he has gone way over that.
Oh, yeah.
And, like I said, before I didn't really have a play on actually this game. Now I am looking more towards that Commanders side, or maybe even the Commanders team total over.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Because, last week versus what some people on this show may, the Steelers defense may actually be the best thing ever.
Yeah, what they said.
Yeah, what they said. Commanders still put up what I think it was 27 points.
Yes.
And the Eagles defense, people are saying how good they are, but last week they played Dallas. And as far as a QB, you all know what's like going on there. They don't have anything going on.
It's impossible. I mean, it's impossible to watch the Cowboys.
Yep.
Yes.
Especially when Dowdle only gets 26 touches and 5.6 points. Nothing worse than Waddle and a cane. I mean, come on, dude. Look at this.
Don't get me started on A-Chain. He killed me last week.
I lost by 0.5 for the first time in my life on ESPN Fantasy, and it's worse than losing like a solid bet.
Yeah, it is. When you lose a less than 1 point fantasy game, it ruins your whole day. It doesn't matter how you did in betting. Doesn't matter how you did in anything else. If that's your main league and that's the one you're following, your whole day is ruined when that happens. But JD, I do appreciate that. I do like that you were looking at that team total. Is that an official play for you?
It's not yet. I need to see what that's doing because like we talked about the other day, when the spread goes up, for the actual favorite, the underdog's team total is actually going to go down. So I'm definitely going to look that actually way though. So officially, no, I don't have a play yet. I will say though, the actual wife does.
We're going to get to it.
Yeah. And actually like,
oh no, we're getting into it right now.
Apparently we're going to do it right now. She thinks Hurts, gets in. And actually, unlike you, she also thinks Jaden Daniels does too.
Hey,
At actually those odds, his actual odds have actually gone tonight way up there. So I think that this actually is a good play here. So yeah, we are actually definitely going to root that one home.
Tailing Mrs. LM. That's an official best bet for Mrs. LM as well, so we love to see it. And fellas, that's going to do it for today's breakdowns, but we still have a couple things we're going to go over, so let me go into it. First one, countdown to Black Friday sale starts tomorrow. Every day there's a new sale, guys. There's a merchandise launch, crazy sales on subscriptions every single day, and one-on-one training sessions with the capper if that's what you are interested in. A ton of value coming out from MoneyBall Metrics, so make sure you guys stay tuned in. As you can see, there's going to be different sales every single day. You're not going to want to miss it. And guys, there's also a MoneyBall Metrics max play today. We have won 5 straight. We are going for our 6th straight max play. Have your Twitter /X/Bluebird, whatever the hell you call the stupid app that we love. Make sure you have the MoneyBall Metrics notifications on, because you will see this play come out. It's not going to be released right now on the show. You must stay tuned to the MoneyBall Metrics Twitter account where you will see the max play. Fellas, we've got through that. We've got through the breakdowns. There's only one more thing that we do on this show, and Sammy, we are going to be starting with you. We are getting into our best bets for the day. Sammy, how many do you have for the people, and what are your best bets today?
Best bet for me. I'm going to stick with the Commanders. I'm scared of the Eagles keeping, a 3-point lead, let alone it jumping up to 4 and then 4.5. So I'm going Commanders money line, dog.
There we go. Any other from you today?
Yes, I want
I got you right here, big dog. I don't like to let it on the screen early, but if you guys want to take your phones out and do a screenshot, Sammy's best bets are on the screen right now. You guys can see he's on LSU -4, LSU first to score, and money line +120, Tennessee +10.5. We're giving him that extra half because the line has moved, and he's on ECU -13.5, -135. We all saw Sammy gave out the Commanders as well. I'll jump in here while we still have the screen up. Pittsburgh college football +10.5. Tennessee, Georgia under 47.5 as well. And guys, one play I absolutely love that we did not go over is Tulane Green Wave -6.5 this weekend. Tulane has been one of the best teams in college football this year. I've been backing them, it seems like almost every week, because this team continues to just win football games and cover football games. Tulane is currently second in the nation at covering games. They're 8-2 on the year, covering at 80%. Take Tulane. They will get it done. JD, give us your 3 as we already have on the screen.
All right, Alpha. You know what? That actually last best bet that you have, that actually reminded me that this week I might be playing the Tulane team total over.
Let's go.
You make me laugh, brother. I will say you make me laugh.
But all right, yeah. For the best bets here, this week is all about teams starting out fast, and we're going to go with Clemson and actually the first half here. We're going to go Georgia the same way. I am expecting both of these teams to come out fired up, ready to go. Yes, I absolutely love those. And then for tonight's game, we're going to be taking ECU team total over. I think they put up a ton of points.
I absolutely love it. Let's cash all the best bets. But before we get out of here, Sammy, we got to thank you for hopping on, making time out of your busy schedule, and giving people the winners. JD, it's been another beautiful day from you. A lot of team totals, a lot of first halves. Let's get them all cashed this weekend. And we have a beautiful game on Thursday Night Football. JD, say something to the people before we get out of here.
Guys, let's have a great Thursday night, and above all else, let's fucking win.
Let's fucking win. Sammy, any parting messages for the people before we get the hell out of here?
Get out of your comfort zone and fucking bet your mortgage on any of our best picks.
I don't advise that, but tail us at a normal unit and let's keep cashing. Sammy, thank you so much again. We appreciate you, brother. We know you'll be back on giving out the winners, and JD will be back same time, same place tomorrow for the MoneyBall Metrics Across the Board NFL show. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. We appreciate y'all. Peace.